And we really appreciate
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
a young person's perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know where the questions are going, but
We don't either.
I so wish I had learned Tai
I
Chi Chih
know.
at your age versus when I did, which was a long time ago. I was fortunate, but
Yeah.
just the stress of life in finals and in all, and 40 years ago, life was a lot easier than it is for young people.
Yeah.
So anyway, I commend you for taking this chance.
Happy to contribute, and it helps me too. Not sure how, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Welcome everybody to Friday Nights in Joy. We are joined this evening by a wonderful guest, Josh. And Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a student at UNM. I'm majoring in philosophy and kind of religious studies, but also in psychology and anthropology, and I might switch between those
Oh,
few.
cool.
I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, I like all this Tai Chi and the philosophy stuff, and mostly the Oriental type, because it seems to express a lot.
Yeah, you know, we read a section from the Tao of Pu in our class last semester. Do you remember anything about that that sort of resonated with you? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but...
Well, just the main teaching of it, highlighting like the stream and how if you, saying that you fall into the stream and you're not the stream, so you can't control whether the stream flows or not, but what you can control is how you yourself are in the stream. And if you're struggling and fighting against it, because it's something that you yourself are not in full control of, you're kind of just going against the nature of it. And when that happens, everything's kind of working against you, when instead, by just like letting go and kind of becoming one with the stream, it kind of just takes you to where you need to go on its own.
Yeah, beautiful.
Of course, with a little bit of your own influence.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, that's incredible. How would you say Tai Chi Chih, like, you know, you've taken it, this is your second time completing the class, and what would you say, how is Tai Chi Chih teaching you about life, about being in the stream, about not fighting the stream, or how would you, go anywhere with that question?
Well, I feel like it seems like a lot more simplified, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it in class, but it can seem boring at times. But that's just because of how we're shifting our awareness from having so many things and that stimulating our minds to focusing on something much closer to us. And through that, being able to notice a bit more how the mind disconnects you and how you get into these flows, and by fighting it in some sort of way, you're giving away all the power that you might have. So instead, kind of like accepting what's going on and seeing what you can do with it. And Tai Chi Chih just offers like a really good window into that, because of that simplification of what's going on. and it gets you a lot more in touch with your body.
Yeah. Have you? That's beautiful, Josh. Have you noticed, like, in Tai Chi Chih we focus in the soles of our feet. Have you noticed then that spilling over into your life when there's a situation that might arise, and it's like, do you remember your feet, and does that then affect how you're relating with whatever situation might come up? I mean, you're fairly new to Tai Chi Chih, so it might not be as automatic yet, but I don't know if that's a thing that you've had experience with.
Well, there are a lot of moments like that that I have, and it definitely does, because one of my favorite quotes is by Thich Nhat Hanh, and he says that whenever you walk the earth, walk as though you're kissing it with your feet.
Oh.
And that it changed my mind about how I move through the world.
Yeah.
And any time that I kind of get caught up, it feels uncomfortable for me, because I've become because I'm so like in love with this stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when I'm not connected to it, I may not realize it right away,
Right.
but I end up getting this feeling, and when I get that feeling, it does remind me.
Yeah.
And through that, I do have all these things that I do. And I have actually found myself thinking about that, not exactly the soles of the feet, but that's kind of included, I guess.
Yeah.
But just at like random points in my life where I'll whip out some Tai Chi move just because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So,
And then
yeah.
something shifts. That's awesome. That's awesome. One of the assignments that I gave the students was a Tai Chi Chih metaphor assignment. So they had to find a metaphor in life that they felt was associated with Tai Chi Chih for them. And I want to credit April Leffler, because she's another Tai Chi Chih teacher who gave me the idea for the assignment. So thank you, April. But tell us a little bit about the metaphor you chose. I think it was really cool, and I copied it here in case you want to remember what you said.
Yeah, I said that it's like a roller coaster. Tai Chi Chih is like a roller coaster, and it seems very not similar, but in Stoicism, I guess, or Socratic philosophy, there is they talk about the systole and the distole, and it's basically taking something that looks, the systole would be taking two things that look like completely different and finding what is similar between them. And then the distole would be the exact opposite, finding things that are like similar. But so the systole for the roller coaster is that it can be an experience that is either like really anxiety filled and just like all this rattling aggressive energy, and it ends up like hurting your bones and your neck. And one of the things that I learned early on was I can't really like do anything from inside of the roller coaster, and it's already built in a way that I'm safe. So kind of like if it were a sofa, just like completely relaxing into it, and instead of focusing on how my body is in the moment, just focus on the roller coaster and completely focus on the roller coaster.
Join with the roller coaster? Is that what you're saying? Become one with
the roller coaster.
Fantastic.
Through of course the body, but realizing that letting go is what helps you become one with what's around you. Because you get so stuck up inside of yourself that you can't enjoy a roller coaster.
Oh, that's incredible.
Through letting go, it becomes such an exhilarating experience.
Yeah, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I would say life is not always easy. And so, but the roller coaster has its ups and its downs, and it's like agonizing kind of the anticipation. But if you're one with it, it's less suffering than if you're fighting it. Is that part of, was that part of what you were thinking?
It's kind of like, it's just an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience, like everything, all the vicissitudes, all the ups and downs, and there are a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic. Is there anything else you want to say about the roller coaster? I like this part. I mean, you're welcome to read this, you know. Do you want to read? I mean, you could even start here if you wanted to read it. Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I guess I could read it out loud to
Yeah, okay.
help everything out.
Yeah.
So, my journey with Tai Chi this semester has been less about the actual movements and more about how I can consciously relax into them. And at a point, instead of doing the movements, it becomes the energy that guides me. No more cracks, no more hopping hands, no more mind. My attention has become engulfed in the substance of the movement, holding open the gate that lets the river flood through the city that I call a body. What is my original face? The practice highlights how one does not do the action. One does not think about the action. One becomes and is the action. Like to get the roller coaster experience, one can give up control and ultimately become one with the roller coaster itself.
Awesome. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. You ready for a game?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so we've got 20th Century Psalms here. This is a book by Justin Stone, and he wrote a lot of different just thoughts about life. So I'm going to let you take a sip first.
Okay.
Okay. Get yourself hydrated. All right. You get to pick one. And you can close your eyes and then we'll see what happens. Okay.
Which side? Both sides? I
Any
guess?
side. Yeah, you just get to pick one that you're drawn to. This is interesting, I think. You might relate to this. I don't know. Is that one you like?
That one's cool.
You pick yours though. That was the one I was drawn to.
That is a good one.
wanna
Sometimes
do that one?
when I am alone, I wish I was with friends, and sometimes in company, I fervently wish I was alone. Why?
Yeah. Why?
One of the things that makes us human is, and has like just brought us to the point where we're at, is the fact that we're not completely happy with the way things are.
Yeah.
And like I said, that has brought around so much, like books and all of these amazing things. So it is a natural part of us that we also kind of have to embrace, but also recognize the fact that it is just a part of us. And through that, we can end up losing presence, and it can feel like life is passing us by just because we're not accepting it as it is. And what that kind of ends up being is, in one place you want one thing, but then when you're in that other thing, you want the other thing.
Yeah.
And
Cycle of discontent.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I feel like we just have to end up thinking about what we want. And if we want to be feeling that suffering, the discontent, if we want to want something and then not want it, and what that even, to what end that even has.
Say more what you mean by to what end. Do you mean like how you're focusing your energy, or how you're, like you believe you want something that's going to bring you a result, but it...
Our attachment
Oh,
to
yeah,
our
there you go.
desires. Oftentimes we get caught up in a desire or a want just through the present moment and the way that things are.
Yeah.
And
I think what you said is then you lose presence.
And if we let ourselves get caught up in that, we do. We lose presence and we lose sight of things that in our right mind are like completely obvious to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Like an example would just be eating.
Go say more. We're in the eating season right now.
Well,
Got
like,
some cookies right over there.
say I have work in the morning
Mm-hmm.
at 10 o'clock. I sleep late. I get up. I get ready and rush to work.
Yeah.
And now I'm at work and I work for 6 hours. And that whole time I can't really eat because I'm
Even though
working.
it's a restaurant.
Even though it's a restaurant. So that ends up just getting so caught up in other things, you forget about what's important. And what that ends up doing is that it can eat up my body, and it can just do all kinds of other things, including just how we experience each moment. So even my work was worse because I hadn't eaten first.
Right.
And focused on what's important. And I think that's what a lot boils down to, is what's important. And in the end, is being alone important? Is being with friends important?
Right. In the moment. Because it'll,
And in the moment, the answer is it always just depends.
Yeah.
So like right now, being alone is not important, but being with what is important. And what is obviously what's going on.
Yeah, nice. You know, one of the things about Tai Chi Chih that we did not talk too much about in class, but I think I talked about it at least once, is this idea of the habit energies, or the habit patterns, which we call vasanas or vashanas. What Tai Chi Chih tends to do that we don't even have to think about is that in the movements themselves, we're circulating the energy, and in effect, we're kind of erasing those deep grooves that even though we want to do something, we fall back into an old habit or an old pattern that sort of prevents us. And it's not really our fault, it's just that it's such a deep groove of an old way of either thinking or behaving that we can't do the new thing. And what I think is cool about Tai Chi Chih, without even having the intellectual understanding, is that by doing the movement so simply, so easily, those grooves, the chi itself, that circulation of the energy, kind of fills in those grooves. So then all of a sudden we have many more options to respond to life, and many more than joyful opportunities to experience life, because we're not caught in that one little groove. And I don't know if any of that, what I just said there, I did talk about that. I'm like, did I mention something?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because it's kind of critical. But is there anything in that you want to respond to, or? I mean, you've got a really cool range of classes that you're taking, and I know we had a really interesting conversation where it was kind of like tell me, do you want to talk about, because your professor was saying something, and we were talking about it from an experiential perspective versus sort of like a thought perspective. I'm not sure if you remember even. Because you don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't remember either, so we'll cut that out. But
well, it can still. It might find its way through.
It might find. It's true. Okay, so anything you want to say about any of that connected to your classes or what you're learning about all your good stuff?
When I think about that, and I think about the habit energies, I do think about kind of just like karma and kind of like the way that I've come to understand it, and it itself is a type of energy, but the energy that we put out into the world is what ends up existing. So depending on what's done, and energy usually comes from action and not quite thought. Thought can provoke energy, but it's not required. And through action, so much energy is created. But what ends up happening is we get caught in all of these cycles, and that's just what everything is, cycles and flows. And when I think about the habit energies, I just think about how we create like a flow, and oftentimes these flows don't align with like what's going on in the world and how we're actually wanting to experience it. So the energy doesn't feel right. And
say more what you mean by that, like the energy doesn't feel right. Like we're not in like what's happening doesn't feel right according to what...
It feels like, you could say, blocked up. And kind of going to what you said about Tai Chi, it's way too narrow. And you don't feel like it's narrow, you feel like it's open.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I'm open to this and I'm open to this.
I see.
But what it ends up being is you've like opened yourself up to these specific things, and then it's just become these things for as long as this energy has been there.
Yeah.
And you may not even realize it, but the psychological effect that it's taken, it's just, you only notice these certain things come out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
through, and what I think it is it's that like relaxing point, that like embracing the movement, that's what ends up smoothing the groove. And then just through all of, because it's so like awesome, because it's so awesome, you end up doing it a lot and you end up enjoying it. And then through that, you end up creating, and I thought about it like a new habit energy that's more open. And it's not a habit energy of
contraction.
It's more just like a habit energy
Yeah.
of openness and a habit energy of presence.
Yeah.
And through that, everything else can exist.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautifully put. Excellent. All right, let's do another one. Got a couple more minutes here. Guy, do you know what time it is?
You're 20 minutes in.
Oh, we're 20 minutes in. Okay, cool. We've got a dog next door in case that comes through on the... All right. We're surrounded by life. We're in the flow. Something you said, oh yeah, Justin used to talk about the habit energy of Tai Chi Chih being a really good habit energy to develop. Because effectively, it does erase all habit energies, you know? So basically the habit or energy of doing it becomes a 0 point, reduced to zero. Oh gosh.
Like Wu Wei.
Yeah, that's right. Say what you understand Wu Wei to be, if you don't mind.
Well, kind of just relating to my metaphor, but
yeah,
action through non-action.
Yeah.
And
it's what in Tai Chi Chih we call it the effort of no effort. Yeah, yeah.
And it would be like just the lazy river.
Yeah.
At one of the water parks.
Nice. Just floating.
Just floating, because in the end, what else is the point of life than to be? And obviously, once you're there, then it becomes more than that.
Yeah.
Through one of the big Buddhist ideals is that through emptiness is how everything is able to exist.
Yeah.
Because nothing exists is how anything else can exist. So kind of boiling yourself down to nothing, you then get to choose what exists and what habits you can put into your life. And
you're doing a good job talking through a dog barking. That was great. Okay, let's see here. I want to get up and tell the dog to go outside right now. In fact, I might just do that. I'm going to. The good news is we have a lot of storage on my phone. The dog's mother is in the restroom, and the dog's mother will be coming out soon, and then they'll move her into this. Yeah, so we're good.
Just walk back.
Did you? Okay. Wowsy. Okay. Well, the one that I settled on, I don't know. It's risky. I was going to talk about this one. Don't say it yet, though, because I think we often Well, we won't be suspicious. We won't be like mysterious. Okay, the ego does not die; it grows to embrace all. This is a statement by Justin. And it's kind of what you were saying about emptiness, including everything, the all and the everything. And so when we can start to, this is a good thing actually I wanted to share, because one of the things I think Tai Chi Chih does is it invites us to know our own goodness, our inherent goodness, independent of anything, like I failed a test or whatever's going on in my life. That's independent of the inherent goodness inside of us. But to come to know that, we also have to start to include a wider and wider swath of our humanity and realize that we all are human, and we're all just doing, we're expressing, in each situation the best we can, but we don't always live up to our expectations. But this idea of just ever greater inclusion of our wholeness and our essence and our goodness is a direct result, at least for me in my life, of what Tai Chi Chih is inviting in me. And I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that, Josh, but inherent goodness, especially with people your age, I'm curious. First of all, respond to my first question, then I want to ask you about people your age and what you think they need. Because it's not easy being your age, I don't think.
I don't
always.
know.
Maybe it's easy. Maybe it's easier than I think it is. Maybe you're having a wonderful time.
I'm having
you
a
are
wonderful
having a good time. I know. Good example.
First question. Can you say it again?
Yeah, let me say it again. Inherent goodness, that is what we're actually uncovering when we do practices like Tai Chi Chih.
Right.
That's what it's teaching us.
Because of its like ability to focus that awareness, you get less in touch with things that you thought were yourself and more in touch with what you can call yourself, but what it ends up being is what's more relevant to the experience. And through that, because of that boiling down, I guess, and the dissolving of the self, and before you can dissolve the self, you actually have to have a self.
Correct.
So that quote kind of really gets into that, that technically it doesn't even dissolve, but it does grow. And I heard Alan Watts talked about something once, and he talked about how there's a few different ways that we've seen the way that the universe works. And the first one is a machine, the second one is it grows, and the third is it's a dance.
Oh, wow.
And he said that all three are actually correct. And it just really depends on what you want and really what the world needs.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Through that, I feel like we've kind of been in like the machine stage of seeing the world and the universe and nature. But what we really kind of need right now is that growth stage, and what that ends up being is that inclusivity, because how can we grow and include if we're excluding? And how can people actually come to know who they really are if we're acting in this way? And we create a world that is this way. But through that, like, loving kindness, and realizing that even the cat on the street or the plant on the road, it's all part of the experience. And technically, no one and nothing is more important than any other. And being able to see things in that way, you're able to care for the universe as though it were your own, because it is your own.
Yeah.
It's all of our own,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. That's beautiful. When you think about your peers, you know, at university or people at work or at whatever, what do you see them needing? Because not everybody sort of understands the world the way you do, I think. I mean, maybe more you do than I know, but I don't, what do you think?
I think that the world right now just needs to like focus on what's important, and that does include kids my age,
Yeah.
and even me
Yeah.
at times, because it's very easy to get caught up in all the distractions and all the things that we've created in the world, and that's okay, because going back to that inclusivity through the emptiness and through the beauty is how all these things came to exist. And if we want it to be beautiful again, we have to embrace that and not think, oh, this isn't meant to be here, but think, oh, this is here, what do we do with it?
Right. That goes back to that ever greater inclusion. Yeah, that's incredible. Wow. Well, is there anything that you want to say, Josh, to end our conversation? We can just open it up to you, or...
Well, I'm not sure, nothing in particular.
Nothing? Okay, all right, cool. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today and talking with me. And it's my great honor to be able to work with people your age, and so I want to thank you for that. It's just terrific. Really.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So thank you to all of our viewers. Friday nights enjoy. Our Tai Chi Chih Association also extends its thank you to everybody for your support. And if you aren't yet a member and you'd like to be to support programming like this that we want to keep free and accessible to all, you can join us for $60 a year, and it really helps us out a lot. So it's just a little invitation and awareness building statement there. So anyway, take care, everybody, and Josh, thanks again so much.
Yeah.
So appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap. You're amazing. Isn't he unbelievable? Oopsies, I know. Josh, you are an amazing human being.
I felt very in the clouds.